Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming devices, streaming content, streaming providers, everything that streams. We want to talk about it. And if we don't talk about it and you get offended, let us know. Then maybe we'll talk about it. Welcome back. It is episode 31.
Wow.
I am Clyde. Today I'm joined by Matthew Ross.
Hi, everybody.
And Jimmy Trammell.
Streaming from Florida.
How's the weather down there in Florida?
It's actually quite nice today. Didn't have much rain. Had a little shower in the afternoon, but not too bad yet. I hadn't gotten to the real steamy season yet. Right, that comes in July, but not too bad right now.
Rock on. I know it was like torrential rain and lightning earlier, and I was like, oh, crap. I don't know if I'm going to have to abandon the house in the middle of the stream, but, I think my hair is still kind of wet because I got caught outside. But, yeah, it's been an interesting day. But, anything else before we move on? You see, we got Cruz in the chat room. Hola, Cruz.
Cruz.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wish I could speak some Klingon.
Kapla. That's pretty much all you need to know.
Oh, Kapla, yeah.
Say that to everyone.
Very good.
Which I believe is success, is what it means. Anyways. Yes, I did browse to the store. I did see Hamlet in the native Klingon. And I almost picked it up and bought it. You can buy the book of Hamlet
in Klingon.
In the native Klingon.
Oh, because Hamlet was originally took place on Klingon?
Well, that's the joke.
What's their planet?
Star Trek 6, and
when,
because they start quoting to be or not to be in Klingon, and it's pretty clear that's what it is, and then he turns to him and says, you've never experienced Shakespeare unless you've heard it in the native Klingon. And it's like, okay, it's like, I am sick today. I got the cold, so if I sound weird, I'm sorry. If I mute my mic to cough, I'm sorry.
All right.
Well, I should be okay.
Yeah, as long as you keep it over there on your side of the country, that's all I care about.
Okay. I'll try.
All right. Well, why don't we just get into it? We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, including today was the first day of Google I/O.
It was.
This is my favorite time of the year.
I like Google I/O.
Every year,
So do I.
they don't talk about the one thing that I'm hoping they'll talk about, and they don't. And every year it's something different, but.
Oh yeah. So. What was it for this year for you?
Well, I was hoping for more for Android TV, but today was the first day, so we still got 2 more days to figure out, whether or not they're gonna what we're gonna hear. So.
I touched a little bit on that for you, but not much.
Yeah, not much. But rock on. Should we head on over to the news?
Yeah, well, let's start with the story that happened earlier this last week. It's YouTube TV has officially added a few more channels. Looks like they've added a couple of stations that I felt like are really good additions. You'll find AMC, BBC America, IFC, Sundance, and WeTV now available on your subscription for YouTube TV. This makes them closer to the competition as far as the number of channels they have out there. And of course, AMC probably makes Clyde very happy to see there. Aren't you the AMC fan?
I like some stuff that's on AMC. I'm a huge. I hate their streaming service.
Gotcha.
Because and it's gonna be. It'll be the same thing. as everywhere else.
Well, this will be the live stuff, and you can go ahead and DVR it and watch it whenever you want.
Yeah, I guess that's cool. No, and I am increasingly more and more interested in YouTube TV. Unfortunately,
limited availability.
I'm not anywhere I can try it, so we'll see. I've heard good things so far.
Yeah, I'd be happy to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, just having CBS and ESPN and Disney Channel and yeah, and it the article said unfortunately Viacom isn't on there, but who cares about Viacom? That's
interesting thing about that is that Viacom is actively fighting against streaming services.
Oh yeah, exactly.
The CEO is got a personal vendetta against them.
And it's like, well, if you would actually spend some time and stop destroying channels that used to be good, maybe I would care. But
I don't know. It's interesting. I have no idea what's going to happen there. I suspect some fallout will happen, whether it be channels disappear forever.
Oh yeah,
they stop making money.
They're going to get to the point where they'll either shoot themselves in the foot or it'll work out good in some sort of but
niche market.
Yeah, we'll see.
The only thing here, about this, the YouTube TV is just the limited number of devices that they offer the service on, right? That's the only gotcha, right? I mean, it's only maybe a couple of devices, I think, is all it is.
It's actually really limited to the mobile devices like your phones,
right?
And it will stream to a Chromecast enabled devices right now. And I don't even know if it has a web version yet. I can't remember. But because of those limitations, but most people aren't complaining about those limitations. Most people are complaining the fact that you can't get it in your area.
Yeah.
Because people are willing to try it. If they can't get it, nobody's going to complain about it. So.
Yeah, and
I think you can get it, but you just can't get your local area channels there. Right?
Nope, I cannot get it. Sorry, not available in your area.
I just hope this doesn't end up
when you try to sign up. Wow.
Yeah. I just hope this doesn't end up like Google Fiber and a couple of the other things that Google did where they were like, we'll do some test markets and then we're going to roll it out everywhere. Oh, yeah, no, we're not.
See, I don't think that's the problem because Google Fiber is the physical infrastructure.
No, I understand. I was just saying there's been other things too, but...
Yeah, so this is totally a licensing and or their own back-end infrastructure, which they've got figured out, I'm sure, or are on their way to getting it perfectly figured out.
Well, if you saw the Google I/O about their new processing cores, they should they've got the back end.
TensorFlow.
What was it, like 10 teraflops per second of data? I was like,
something like that.
Yeah.
It was an impressive big number that
I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know how to quantify that amount of data.
I can't comprehend that number right now. That's okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have a story, and I love the headline chosen for the story for us is Pirates, Pirates, Pirates. Pirates, Pirate, Pirates. Which is the story about a group of pirates came out and are now blackmailing Disney for what appears to be the Pirates of the Caribbean movie that they are threatening to release online unless they pay a huge ransom. Looks like Disney is working with the FBI and not going to be going in and turning in any money to the ransomers. So the ransomers might start being paid by bringing out piece by piece pieces of the movie before it's released. And I'm really curious what you guys think about this. This is an amazing story to me, and I'm really curious what you guys think.
It almost sounds like it's the Somalian pirates is taken to the internet, doesn't it?
Kinda, except for they got Jack Sparrow.
No, but I mean, and that was just a joke, of course. But but I don't know. I mean, you're starting to see more and more of this. This is just a popular theme that we see recurring, not only in here, but sorry.
No worries.
It's picking up where he left off. It's not like they really have any choice. If they give the money to somebody, it's already out there. I mean, they have no guarantee. They really don't have any choice, and the only real thing to do is just say, "See ya." You know.
Well, so this probably is the exact same group of people that did the Orange is the New Black piracy like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And they said they had a whole bunch of different studios' movies that they've got, and they're just working one-on-one along in order to figure out which ones are going to actually give them money. So, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is going to be a huge test of whether or not people generally, and I know there are some on both sides of this issue that are, they're they feel extremely about it. Will a movie that has clearly been pirated, clearly being used against Disney, against them, to extort money, are people going to go ahead and take advantage of Disney anyways? Or are they going to wait until the movie comes out and watch it in the theaters? Is it going to affect sales? Now, we don't know that because we can't tell, especially with this Pirates movie, if this is going to be a hit. So,
which leads to my next point is I don't think anybody actually stole it. I think this is a publicity stunt so they have a fall guy for when the movie flops, they can say, "See? Piracy killed our pirate movie."
Piracy is bad.
Piracy is bad. And they've got a fall guy. Clyde's Conspiracy Corner.
That's an interesting thought, and then, I mean, it could be all just a publicity stunt,
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, but going on, from the other side of this, I mean, if it truly is, a group out there that's, ransoming, access to the movie, threatening to put it out there, I wonder if it's going to prod the studios to get closer to releasing movies, digitally, at the same time that they're released in the movie theaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, ultimately that would be the way to circumvent this, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't believe that somebody actually took it. Just like that we were talking about Orange is the New Black possibly being a publicity stunt. It's not going to affect the people that want to see it in the theater are going to see it in the theater, and those that I wasn't gonna go see it in the theater. I'm not gonna go watch it pirated either because that's how little I care about the stupid movie. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, if they are doing it, I mean, we'll never really know. Right, because I mean, if they really did do it and they do pay them something,
there would have to be some.
We'll never know what that's going to be.
Right? It would take a really disgruntled employee to turn whistleblower, and before, we ever found out. So.
I think this is interesting. I can't wait to find out more information about this. I wonder if we'll see the first 5 minutes appear online sometime soon. I won't be watching it because I do plan on going to the theater and watching this.
Stick around after the show and maybe we'll watch it.
I know. Well.
Wait, no, we definitely won't do that. All right.
Joe Phone has the greatest quote ever.
How many pirates can a pirate pirate if a pirate could pirate pirates? Apparently one right now, but
one at a time.
Yeah. All right, but go ahead. No, I was going to say.
I'll go ahead. They have a news story. Element Fire is the new TV that's been coming out. It's an affordable 4K television, and the most interesting part, it has Amazon built right in. It looks like this is a Element TV, which Element, if you don't know, is one of the lower end brands, very inexpensive. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it is not one of your high end Sonys. And this version is 4K and various sizes for dirt cheap. And has bundled into it basically your Fire TV stick plus a couple extras built into your TV. One of the extras in there is a built-in 16 gigabytes of flash storage, which allows you to pause live TV for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is gonna be. This is good. I really wonder if this is something that catches on, and if it does, can Amazon keep them all up to date? All the different versions of this that are going to be going out there. If it were me and I was trying to sell this to, if I was Amazon, I was trying to sell this to Element and things like that, I'd say build your TV with a little hatch that opens up and a space for a little HDMI dongle to be plugged in, and we'll pre-sell it with the dongle installed, and we'll just use our standard dongle. And when the new one comes out, users can upgrade. We can sell them with the upgraded version of it if in case the old hardware is no longer supported. This is stuck with it. So
when I read this, the first thing I thought was, Amazon, the only person you could get to bite was Element. That is not something to brag about.
Well, that's because, Roku swept in and got TLC, and what was the other brand?
Well, I mean, Hisense and TCL, but
TCL.
But Hisense and TCL, but TCL, the difference is TCL is a great brand. They are cheap right now because they have to be, because they don't have name recognition here in the U.S. That's not the case with Element. Element's been around forever. They don't have a good reputation for a reason. They're about the same quality as Insignia TVs. Actually, I think they're manufactured by the same company that makes the Insignia TVs for Best Buy. They're just those Element ones that are like a white box, white label TV that you get to slap your brand on. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not excited, but
well, if this catches on, if this spikes sales for the Element TV for any reason whatsoever, somebody somewhere else will go, "Ooh, this will sell our TVs," and maybe they'll make a version that has it.
Yeah.
Which again, just makes this more of a bigger issue in the future, because then more people will be getting the standard interface. This is of course, right now I'm going to go ahead and put on my hat of I'm really against Amazon's taking over the world and say this is a problem there. But other than that, it's fine.
But as it becomes clearer and clearer every day, it's not Amazon that we have to worry about. It's Google that's taking over the world. They've infiltrated the iPhone in so many ways. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
No, I'm not worried about Amazon. And I mean, a lot of their new products that they've been putting out have just been kind of and this is another one that's just not quite, what they want you to think. This is a huge, awesome deal, and it's kind of there with their $50 Kindles. Sounds like a great deal, but it's the same Kindle they've been selling for 4 years with really no updates.
It's thinner.
Still, yeah.
It's what it is. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on, we have a story from what looks like Android Police. NBC has released a new app for the Android TV. Actually, I haven't read this one. Looks like the Android TV has gotten the last final of the networks to finally appear on it. This is when they finally picked up the NBC app, which allows us to finally watch some of that back catalog content that's been available for all the other platforms on the Android system here.
Yeah, this is good. Because a couple weeks ago we talked about how NBC was finally loosening the reins and planned on being more streaming friendly, especially with their allowing their local affiliates to be provided and that kind of stuff. This is the next step. I'm surprised it took this long, but hey, they've got an app on Android TV. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yep. Now that we have the ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox apps on that, it's finally become another one of those platforms you can go to see the big cable news shows and catch up on old shows as needed. So it's good. It's a good thing that was needed for the Android TV.
Yeah.
So that's really the end of the other stories of news. The rest of the stories of news are all Google I/O related.
Yeah.
Did you get to see the Google I/O?
I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I just had to watch the highlights.
I used the nice feature of YouTube Live when you have YouTube Red, of being able to listen to a YouTube video while, so I stuck it in my ear and continued to work today while listening to I/O, and there's lots of stuff that was announced today. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I got to watch just a little piece of it. I didn't get to watch much of it, but I plan to go back and watch the whole thing though.
It's fast.
This
it's
is
2 hours
CNET,
long,
and
but
here are the
there's
stories
no
that matter
pauses.
right now. News from Bloomberg
What?
says that Apple
Oh,
will
it's
announce an update to the
CNET
company's
autoplay
No,
in the background.
No.
I hate CNET. Sorry to those of you that are out there that are either affiliated with or formerly affiliated with CNET.
That's a lot.
Well, I believe that's CBS, isn't it?
Yes, it was CBS. I don't know if it still is.
Oh, yeah. But no, sorry. What were you saying? You were doing the live stream over the YouTube.
YouTube Red allows you to listen to YouTube videos instead of having to leave it on. You can go do other things. So I was able to listen to the live stream on my phone, sticking it in my ear, which is kind of nice because I could then continue working and not sit at my computer for 2 hours and watch Google I/O, which is the thing I wanted to do instead of erasing.
Yeah, and as we were saying before the show, this is kind of my favorite time of the year. Aside from CES, this is like the mid-year kind of bump that I wait for with the new Android announcement. What is O going to be? What's the new stuff we're going to see? What harebrained, crazy ideas did they come up with this year that they're gonna like silently forget about over the next 6 months and hope that everybody else forgets because that stuff happens. But
we tried real hard; it didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, and we did get on day one. I mean, there's still 2 more days, but on day one we did get some Android TV news, which is good. Which I guess we can start with, where the Android TV is getting a new launcher with the new version.
We didn't get a lot of details on the new launcher.
No.
But it is a new look for Android TV, which I don't know if it ever looked different from what it currently looks now.
Yeah, it looks slightly different from what it is now. They moved to the Hollow with Jelly Bean, I think it was.
Gotcha.
Or Kit Kat.
I was looking at this earlier too. The one cool feature that I like about it, this launcher, is that when you highlight the particular video and it'll play the preview automatically, right? And I thought that was pretty cool.
That kind of drives me crazy. I hate that, especially if you're on a device that has maybe metered or limited bandwidth. Now you're just chewing up bandwidth that I didn't want, Yeah, it's not as much an issue anymore, but still, I get annoyed by that.
I understand them at home thinking that that's not going to be an issue because you're probably plugged into it.
But I mean, not everybody has good internet.
That's true.
If you're stuck on sub 10 meg and then all of a sudden it starts spinning up video while you're trying to actually do something productive on another device, yeah.
So, but I bet you anything there's an option to disable the preview.
You'd think so. It's been how many years since Netflix introduced that, and there still is not an option to turn off the autoplay.
That's Netflix, though. That's Netflix. Google tends to hear what their users are screaming about. And
I agree.
More than half the time, they go ahead and fix those issues. They're not always. So it looks like almost a standard guide. I mean, it looks less like an Android box and more like a TV guide at this point, and that's probably a good thing for the 10-foot interface.
I think it's ugly, and that's my main complaint. Is it is ugly right now? The interface, it's pretty and it's bright and it's shiny and it grabs your attention. This thing is just kind of. And I look at it, and it doesn't feel like, to me, navigating around on this thing is going to be very fun. It actually, okay, I know what it is. The way it's laid out with the stuff on the side and stuff, it reminds me of Fire TV. It's everything I hate about Fire TV.
Okay.
Well, I mean, to me, I don't know. When I looked at it, and granted, I've not used this, and nor have I used the YouTube TV, but I've seen the articles online and that sort of thing. But it kind of looks like this launcher took some design cues from the YouTube TV menu as well. Not totally like it, of course. I mean, there's still differences, right? But I mean, if you look at it, it looks like there's definitely some design cues that carry over from the YouTube TV.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. They like to keep that style consistent across their different platforms. So, yeah, and I get it. Yeah, it's cool to see them actually doing something with it, so that's good. It sounds like with this update, we will finally get the Google Assistant in Android TV, which they have been promising since the beginning of the year. And yeah, I will just have to wait and see. I don't know how long it's. I wouldn't expect to get this update till probably at least November, December.
Yeah.
So
this is going to take a while, so that's okay. Other Google I/O news. Looks like we're finally getting standalone Daydream headsets. This means that we will be able to purchase a headset in order to enjoy the Google Daydream, which is their VR experience, using a standalone device that does not require a phone. That looks like right now HTC and Lenovo are the first two named to be working on headsets, and because this is a standalone device, they will be able to focus more directly upon the idea of making it work best for VR. And being HTC, remember, those are the guys who make the Vive, so this could be a really amazing device. Lenovo is making another virtual headset device for the Microsoft platform, so it could be related to that one for that system.
Yeah, and from the video I saw earlier, it was really cool in the fact that this device will be able to identify objects around you. And so I just love the fact that it doesn't have to be connected to something, or you don't have to put something into it to make it work. I just want a headset that I can throw on, have a big screen experience when I'm sitting on a plane, watching a 120-inch screen because of perspective, and that's all I care about.
So have you ever tried VR?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times. I love the Vive. The Oculus, every time I've used it, it made me physically ill. Usually because I was standing still, but the stuff I was doing was moving, and your brain just kind of freaks out if you're actually standing. But
how about you, Jimmy? Have you tried VR?
I have not tried VR.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, I mean, the use case that Clyde just described, I think, is a good use case for it. That plus maybe gaming, perhaps. But I'm just not a big fan of the current implementation of putting on those goggles, right? I mean, I do like the potential of VR, right? I just think the current implementation just has a ways to go for me, right? I mean, I think I said this in the pre-show, right? What I want, right, rather than having to wear a pair of goggles, give me the holodeck, right?
Of course.
That's what I want for VR, right? But the use case of wearing those goggles while on a long plane trip, I think that's a good use case, for it. But I don't know. I mean, to me, I could put on my noise canceling headphones and just watch my tablet, right? I mean, and get a good enough experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know.
So Clyde, have you ever tried basically the phone style.
Yes, I have. I've tried them all.
Okay.
And
So what do you think? So I have not tried the upper end HTC Vive or Oculus compared to the phone style like the Daydream.
yeah,
What immediately jumps out at you as the major difference between the two?
quality.
Or is there quality? So
Quality,
resolution?
because resolution and the feeling of like immersion. Because with the Vive, you have to be in like at least 6 foot by 6 foot space with a computer that's massively powerful, and you're in it and you forget that headset's on because it's like almost weightless, and the headphones and everything, you're just there. The Gear VR is good for what it is.
Yeah.
But the early versions were super annoying because you had to constantly do everything by touching it on the side. And I'm sorry, you're sitting there with the thing. You're not going to be holding your arm up for like 2 hours doing stuff. And finally, last year they came out with, or beginning of this year, they came out with the remote things. But I don't know. A lot of it is really just has really been quality and then fit.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I was just going to make one follow-up comment there. I mean, even though I sit there and, kind of shoot arrows at the current implementation, I do like the advancement of technology we're seeing in this, right? And I do think it's getting us closer to the holodeck, right? So every time I see these iterations in technology, I do get excited about it, but I'd like to see it go a bit further is all.
Sure. Well, this is all baby steps, and I've experienced the first version of Cardboard. Cardboard is an amazing what you can get out of a super cheap device, and I've played with the Daydream on my phone. So I'm really happy with what you can do out of those things, and it's just the beginning. For us, but in order to get the holodeck, that's a huge leap. That's going to be an expensive 6-figure room to start with. You know what I mean? You're going to need to pay big bucks to get the real holodeck. So we'll see.
Yeah, here's the Viotech Spectre that I got free at CES, and I have literally never used it. I put it on once, and it felt like I was wearing like a snorkel mask with the rubber. No. And I went, nope. And but it came with this kind of cool case that it folds up into. But
the Daydream has this extremely nice soft cover on it. The only problem I have with it is it actually gets really warm. But other than that, it's really soft, and you can remove it. It's just Velcroed in there, and you can wash it. So that's the other nice thing.
That's the other thing. It annoys me that they call it the Daydream, because Daydream is Google's screensaver.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forget about that.
It's been the Daydream on it. Daydream was introduced as a screensaver, I believe, on the last generations of Google TVs, and was immediately put on the. So I hate when they change what a name means. And it's like
naming conflicts.
Which I keep seeing. I kept seeing that Daydream was coming to devices like phones, but they're not talking about the VR. Now they're talking about the screensaver. So which, right?
No, they're actually talking about the more phones are becoming compatible with the Daydream headset.
Oh, okay.
All right.
See, that's context I'm talking about. I read that and I was like, I don't want Daydream on my phone. I don't need a screensaver. Google, you've got people that their whole job is to come up with names. I hope somebody got fired for reusing that.
I would be so bad at that job.
Oh, yeah, it's like...
names.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Next, we have a really short video of a short story about the fact that we're going to be getting YouTube 360 on your big screen TV.
Yay!
Actually, this kind of excites me.
Okay. I want to hear the pitch. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, so here what it does is it kind of brings the almost the virtual reality experience into the living room, at least where you can get that wider angle view, right? And one thing that excites me about this, like, I mean, you think about it. Okay, this is just one kind of small step in the technology, right? But then, as you can scroll off and around the whole 360 view field of vision there, right? Then, when I could see a day where perhaps maybe you have on some augmented reality glasses, right? Which would be much more lightweight than the virtual reality ones like Clyde was showing just a moment ago. And then, you could, having on those augmented glasses, you could have your TV in front of you and then perhaps maybe put up a couple of side view virtual monitors that comes out, right? And then you can get that whole 360 view by turning, over to one virtual monitor and the other virtual monitor over to the side. We're not quite there yet, but I think this is one step in that direction.
And to address Jotman's question, you don't need multiple TVs because you're using a controller to change what you're seeing on the screen. So, yeah, right. And it's cool. If now the question is, would this be better if it was in 3D?
Oh God, no.
No?
Okay, imagine depth in your TV.
Yeah, and it's moving.
And the fact that you're able to turn, not like the TV turning, but your point of view turning with these things coming in and out of your view of the 3D. Vomit Comet is like the beginning of this. Is just starting that. The people would be so
I believe, I personally think this is the thing that 3D has been waiting for. But unfortunately, 3D's already jumped the shark, and
it's long gone.
It's like they foresaw the future, but the future just didn't get here fast enough.
This would be a bad idea. Nobody ever would do this. Do not implement 360 video and 3D television. It is a bad idea. Mark my words.
Well, I was going to say I want 3D VR, but VR is pretty much technically, because you do have the depth. So, yeah. I don't.
If it was 3D without glasses, maybe
lenticular.
But not with the glasses. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. All right. No, it's I think this is kind of gimmicky, even more gimmicky than the YouTube stuff. I mean, than VR stuff. But hey, I firmly believe do whatever you can. Make it good, even if nobody wants it, nobody's going to use it. It may lead to something else. Throw everything at the wall, right?
Well, yeah. Actually, I suspect that there are going to be wonderful videos, 360 videos that people are going to enjoy watching on this, and even it'll be good for a group environment, which is what makes sense with the TV, because you and two or three buddies sit down and go, oh, let's look over there, and together you all do that. Somebody still has to be in control, but it allows for the group to explore the 360 space. So,
although the videos that immediately come to mind will not be allowed on YouTube.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That always drives every technology, right? Just
absolutely.
Like VHS and everything else.
Right? Yeah. All right. And on that note, let's Google Home.
Google Home was announced with a bunch of new stuff. I recommend, if you're interested in Google Home, to read up all the news you can about what's been announced of everything at I/O, including Google Home. But in particular, Google Home now will respond to your requests and put information up, if you wish, onto a local Chromecast-enabled device in order to give you get better information. For example, you could say, could you OK code word that brings up the Google Chromecast, Google Home. Could you please show me the weather? And it will show you on your TV. It will show it on my TV. It will show you the things on your TV, like this information, your weather, your calendar, asking for it to play videos. It will go ahead and throw them on the TV for you. Asking for it to bring up movies, any service they will link up to it, like HBO Go. You can say, go ahead and play Game of Thrones on the TV, and it will do that for you. This is making it much more competitive with the Amazon Echo, so this is good stuff.
Well, and so this part that they're talking about is where they are incorporating Google Assistant even more, because with Google Assistant, it's becoming more and more conversational, and that will help you. There was also a couple other things that they talked about, like,
oh yeah,
they, like, the one that got my attention was the visual alerts, because now that they're incorporating a Google Assistant in, Google Assistant knows your calendar, and it knows where you are. And now if it sees you need to be someplace, because that's one thing I've relied on for a couple years now, my phone knows on these days, even if it's not on my calendar, it knows, hey, on this day you typically go to this place at this around this time. You should probably get on the road now because there's an accident. But now you don't have to wait. You'll if it sees some or notices something that it thinks you need to know about, there will be a visual alert on the Google Home, which
the proactive notifications. You
know, and when I was watching them talk about Google Assistant and the Google Home, the way they were talking about it made me very reminiscent of things I heard said by Cyberdyne, in a very similar kind of, with the assistants and the AI that's going to teach itself, and I've been saying for years that Terminator was right. They just got the term wrong. It's not cyborg, it's not robot, it's androids.
Well, that is our obligatory Skynet joke. It's required by law to be put.
We're getting closer.
Congratulations.
But that was the other thing that was one of the other things they talked about in conjunction with this, is that they are accelerating the learning by allowing it to teach itself and allowing it to figure out how to optimize and letting it,
literally what it's doing is it's using its neural net to attempt to generate possible neural nets and test them all out to figure out which one is the most optimal, and then using the most optimal one. It's not quite learning in the sense that we're learning. It is more of a, here's a bunch of algorithms. These ones work if you put them in this order, work slightly better than if you put them in that order, generally.
Yeah, but the way the things happen exponentially, just because you didn't intend it to do something doesn't mean it's not going to do it. Like there, was it about a year ago when their AI learned how to play Go, but they never actually asked it to learn?
No, they did. No, they were very much.
No, then I'm thinking of something else. There was one thing that they were teaching it something else, and then I
believe it figured out by playing with the buttons how to play Pokemon.
Oh, maybe.
Like on the Game Boy or something like that. You just here's a bunch of random buttons, and it literally was randomly pressing buttons and saw what the effects were, and eventually got to the point where this is how I continue in the game. Oh, okay. And it literally figured out the correct buttons to press in order to continue in the game. And Pokemon is simple enough that, the internet voting for what the next action to do will win Pokemon eventually.
So let me ask you guys about this, or at least let's see, and help me out here for a second. What was the the name of the Echo with the screen on it now that Amazon is selling? What was the name of that device?
Oh, not the
device with the
dot.
screen.
The dot's the tiny one.
Yeah, the dot's
Here, I'll
but
bring
yeah,
it
he
up.
just announced it last week. I can't remember.
Oh, I missed that.
They
Come
actually
on,
announced one.
Fitz, what was the name of it?
Oh, Dash? No, the Dash
No,
are the
no.
buttons.
I don't think that was it.
Amazon's
quick.
new. Oh, it's just the new Echo.
Echo Show.
Yeah, there it is.
The Echo Show. That's it. The Echo Show. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't know, when I looked at this feature here with the Google Home, being able to display it up on the television and all, to me it seemed like, oh, okay, we can do what you're doing too, right? This is just a shot at them to say, yeah, we got video screens with our Google Home as well.
Well,
right?
the difference is that you can send it to any screen that's got a Chromecast attached. So you
Right.
can go ahead and say, okay, well, I want to be able to use this feature, but I want to use it on my TV and on this monitor over here and on these various devices. And as long as they're enabled to turn on the TV and change the input of the TV, it will be able to do all the steps necessary for you to say, okay, G device, go ahead and show me on my screen for the recipe that I'm doing right now, and you can put that anywhere you like. The Echo Show only works right now
with
on
itself.
its own little tiny screen that
know,
have somewhere
and
in your building.
that device, that is the same device that they clearanced on Woot back in like 2007. The shape, the concept, I remember it. I don't remember what it was called. I will figure it out by the next show. But it was this little tiny computer touchscreen thing that originally looked like it would be really cool in like your kitchen or someplace where you would just want to listen to music, you just want to play a video, but you don't need a lot of power.
Right.
I swear they were bought by Amazon and they just repackaged this thing like 10 years later.
Yeah. Maybe so. I mean, I can remember, way back when I was in college, I think, or well, maybe not quite that far back, but a number of years ago, I think the Bell Labs had some sort of prototype that would do something like that, right? Yeah, a long time ago. Now in 2017 we have it. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
All I could say is that there's been a lot of feedback, negative feedback for the Echo Show, saying that they don't know if this is what they wanted out of their next Echo. So maybe it's a success, maybe it's not. Although it is $230. I don't know.
At least the Echo went down in price.
Did it?
It did. It's only $149 now.
Well, hasn't it been $149 since like Thanksgiving?
I think it's been for a little while.
No, it was $179 before.
Oh, I thought it dropped to $149 for Black Friday and stayed there, but I might be wrong.
No, it was $179 until the show.
Because I know the Dot came out at
$50.
$50.
The price.
So yeah,
right. And the Dot didn't fall in price; it's still $50.
Yeah,
yeah. It was for a while really cheap to $39 while supplies last. Well, not anymore.
I can say I've been really on the fence when it came to I knew I didn't want the Echo or the Dot just because I use so little Amazon. I'm a very Android person, but the Google Home hasn't really been that appealing to me either. Now
it's got
I might, because I just got an offer to get a free one if I get the new LG phone plus the new LG tablet.
Just throwing stuff at you. Please buy our phone.
Yeah, well, they should, because the new LG phone is like, we want to be an iPhone. And it's like, I don't want anything to do with that piece of crap. But
that is a really nice looking phone, though. I have to say.
Yeah, it's
so the one of the reasons I bought the Pixel is because security updates. I don't know how good LG's been about getting security updates.
Oh, I get updates all the time, and I'm on my G4. This thing's like 2 years old, and I'm still getting like crazy security updates. At least once every couple weeks, I get something.
Well, the fact that it has the assistant built into it, which is the other nice thing about this phone, the fact that it comes with a Google Home and maybe another tablet for you. I mean, and it's got a near bezel-less display. It doesn't have the curved edge glass, which I actually don't like on that on the Samsung.
No.
So
Right.
and also doesn't have the stinking Samsung interface. That would be the phone I would get if I didn't have this.
Yeah, and we can talk about that phone another time, but
Okay.
Yeah.
before we wrap this up, any other thoughts on the I/O announcements today? Anything else?
Oh,
Did I
so
forgetting?
much stuff, but no.
But I mean, anything.
Yeah.
There was so much cool stuff, but not a lot of it pertained to what we're talking about here. Yeah, because like the Google Assistant, using it to identify anything was amazing. Yeah,
Can't wait. I need the Google Lens, whatever it is called, and all the other features that they're saying they're coming out with. The ability to talk to third parties, which is something only the home could do. You should now be able to, using Google Assistant, say, okay, let me talk to, name your vendor, Domino's Pizza, and then a different voice comes up as Domino's Pizza, and you could ask about the menu and the prices and order something, and on the fly get your pizza ordered using credentials that are saved in Google and never have to set up an account. It's just, it's the right way to go forward here. This is one of the things that they've got over the competition, and I'm a Google fanboy, I admit. So, but I still don't own one because it's still $130 to buy one of the speakers, and
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. But I mean, when I saw the deal, I was like,
fuck.
I don't even know if I want it for free at this point. But
If you get it and you don't want it, give it to me.
oh, you don't want a TiVo, but you'll take that.
Heck yeah.
All right. What about you, Jimmy? Any final thoughts on the Google I/O announcements?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it didn't seem like they had any what I would call a home run, but I definitely see a lot of base hits out there.
Oh, you were pretty excited about that Google Assistant being on your iPhone.
I am, and I have it now on my iPhone. Right, I've been playing with it this afternoon. Right, I really like it. Right, so like I said, nothing all that stunning. I would say no home runs, but a lot of good base hits, good solid base hits. With all the stuff that they announced today. And they're really getting me inspired to want to try an Android TV. Right, maybe I'll pick up one of those.
But you got to remember, it's not home runs that win the game. It's consistent base hits drive those runners in.
Exactly right.
So,
they keep moving it forward.
Just-
hats off to them. I mean, that's one thing that Google is really noted for, right? They keep the technology moving forward, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's why we do this show. That's why we all are nerds like this, right?
Yep.
One of these years, I will get to go to I/O. But it's not high on my priority. But
Aww.
especially now that they don't really give anything away.
Oh, they gave you a free photo book for this year. Congratulations. Seriously, that's the giveaway this year. Which is actually, truth be told, that's good because they were giving away so much stuff. People were going just for that. And then,
Oh no, exactly. And I was
problem.
one of the people that would have gone for that. But yeah, no, that's cool. All right, well, before we head out of here, any rants, raves, final thoughts?
I got a rave.
Oh?
So today, the trailer to the new Star Trek Discover, I can't even remember what it is. I think it's Discover.
Yes,
Discovery.
I saw that.
And that was released today.
Is that the new
trailer.
show?
That's the new show on CBS All Access. You will only be able to watch it on CBS All Access. It's I'm kind of excited about it because I love my Star Trek and I'm really happy about it. And it's set about 100 years before Kirk being head of the Enterprise. And looking at the history of Star Trek here, there's actually not much information about that time, but.
So is this after Scott Bakula?
Yes, Scott Bakula was one of the very first NX class, the first NX class ship. It was able to go warp 3 or something like that when they first got it. But This is this is going to be anywhere about 50 to 100 years after that.
Okay.
Where they've actually got decent technology going on, but nothing as fancy as the original series. They still got 100 years of foreshadowing to go. We do get to see looks like a very young Spock in the trailer, which seems interesting. We get to see Spock's father, Sybek, or I can't remember his name. Sorry, I blame being sick on this because I cannot think right. Sarek. And so we shall see. It looks like he gets a prominent role into this series here of human Vulcan relations. And so I'm excited. I hope that it's awesome. I hope it's well worth the wait we've had to wait for. I hope it's well worth all the trouble they've had making the show with different directors going in and out of it. We'll see what happens, but I'm hopeful.
All right, well, rock on. What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, for me, I finished up the TV shows Billions and Bosch this weekend. So, and I have to say, I enjoyed both of them. And, I think the last episode I was on, I think is the episode before last, you were saying that it was starting off a little slow for you, the first 2 or 3 episodes that you'd watched.
I think I was like 5 or 6 episodes in, and I still just wasn't, Yeah,
you weren't too excited about it. And I have to agree with you, those first, handful of episodes, little slow. It was kind of, it had good moments in there, but the episodes as a whole were a little bit slow. But I have to say, when you got about halfway through it, right, it started picking up, and man, it just kept you on the edge all the way to the end.
Yeah,
right? and it finished strong. It finished very strong.
I'll definitely get around to finishing it. It just hasn't been the priority, just based on, because like Master of None came out last week on Friday. So Friday night, by Saturday afternoon, I'd already finished the season.
Right.
And but let me ask you, how'd you feel about season 2 of Billions?
Oh, really liked that one too. That was I tell you, that's starting to be one of my favorite shows on TV. Right? I mean, just the the 2 actors in there that really do a good job, right? I mean, all the actors in there, they got really good, high quality actors in there. The script writing is really good in that show, and and it's like, and they just really masterful in the way that they'll start going down one path, and you think, oh, okay, I see where it's going, and then all of a sudden it takes a turn and goes in a different direction, right? And and that's the way that show is, right? And it's very entertaining, very entertaining show. Yeah, I just finished the 2nd season of that, and can't wait for the 3rd season to come out.
Yeah, I love Damian Lewis, Paul Giamatti. I could take him or leave him, depending. I like him in this role. I like how it's even especially through the first season, you're kind of left to decide who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, and I think it's really shaped by your own perspective on life, because the legal guy, he's the one that seems to be doing most of the shady stuff, right? But is he doing it for the right reasons? How do you justify that?
Right.
I am interested. It's nice to see Gail Boddicker show up in a role where he doesn't get killed off or written off quickly. For those of you that don't know who Gail Boddicker was, he was the guy that got taken down by Walter White. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But and he's like in Billions, he's like depraved, just kind of a crazy dude. So,
well. Yeah, one thing I'll say about Billions as well, Billions is one of those kind of shows that even after you've watched it, you wouldn't mind going back and watching it again, right? And there's not too many TV shows you can say that about, right?
Yeah. I would go back and watch it with someone, but if someone else wanted to watch it and it took me watching it again to get them to watch it, yes. And I did not want. I kind of went into that one kicking and screaming. The only reason I started is because Showtime kept beating me over the head with it, and I didn't have it. There happened to be a day where I didn't have anything to watch, so I said, fine. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I guess I'll just leave that as my rant. Oh, Saturday. Saturday is the next movie party. We still need votes. Right now, it is currently a tie between Cool as Ice, the early 90s Vanilla Ice biopic. Well, not really a biopic, but he wishes. And Wolf Cop. Both have 36%. So go out to Twitter at DC Movie Party and vote for what movie. I think we've got a few more hours left. We may have to do a shootout, so watch if there's still a tie when this poll ends. But yeah, 9 p.m. Central this Saturday, the 20th? Is that right? Yeah, should be the 20th. At 9 p.m. Central. And on diamondclub.tv. We will be having fun, so.
And I can make it. I love it because it's hilarious. But usually that's family time for me. So it's hard to make it. So if I can, I will definitely try.
Yep. The poll is actually on Twitter. Just follow if you followed at DC Movie Party. Fitz, you'll see it. Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, Fitz and Jotman and Cruz and Alexa and Jackie and everybody else that was hanging out. Made this worth watching today.
Definitely.
We will be back next Wednesday, same time, 9 p.m. Central on Diamond Club TV. In the meantime, we are caught up. All of our videos are on YouTube. All past episodes. This episode will be on YouTube here shortly in a few minutes. I
need to update the website then. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But we still need those subscriptions, so go find us. Search for the VOD Squad on YouTube. Otherwise, you can follow us on Twitter at the VOD Squad, just like right down here, right there. Oh, that's the chat room, Jimmy.
Somewhere down there.
All right. Rock on, guys. Thank you so much. We will catch you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
My mouse.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.